We're gonna try a Dr. Pepper. What the hell is it? Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream, 0 sugar, because I can. Never had one. Let's see. Smells like strawberries. Oh, that's nice. Anyway, hello everyone. Thank you for clicking that link and joining me again today. I am so glad you did. My name is Dee. I am Fat Chick in a Barn, and we're here to talk about 1,000 Pound Best Friends Season 2, Episode 7. Right here, waiting for you. But it's WEIGHTING. You get it. You get it. That one's a little more clever than last week's. And if you're wondering why glasses, I mean, maybe I shouldn't even mention, so it's kind of a stupid story. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. But I had all that makeup on you last time, and I hadn't ever used the green before. So it actually kind of stained my skin. So I used coconut oil, which is what I usually use to take off my makeup. And then I was like, oh, it's kind of staining the skin. So let me go ahead and use this Noxzema that I had for my neck tattoo. And so I used that, and then I used some hand soap, and my eyeball, my right eyeball decided it didn't like whatever I used because I got a blister on my eyelid. My eyelid was like half swollen shut the next morning. And I only did one eye because I was taking my makeup off when my husband came home with food, and he was like, come on, get out of there. Come over here and eat. So I was like, oh, I'll just get the other eye after dinner. And then I was like, I'm fine. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it staining my eye, my eyelid, whatever. And then, yeah, the next morning I woke up and the one that had the Noxzema and the soap, yeah. So I don't know. I may not even leave that in because, wow, I'm a dumbass. But on to 1,000 Pound Best Friends. Last season there were 8 episodes, and I've tried to find out how many episodes there are going to be in this season. And I think we might be getting 15, but another article said it's unconfirmed how many episodes there will be. So I don't know. Hopefully we get to hang out with our besties for another 8 episodes. That would be cool. Now, this episode, it opens up, as I always say, where it left off, with Tina stripping down and jumping into the pool. And Tina says everything the trainer lady, whose name is Chris, said really hit home, and she wanted to shed her skin, but since she couldn't do that, the next best thing was to take off her clothes and jump in the pool. Okay, so this might be, I feel like this particular video is going to be a little just off the road, a little into the weeds, back onto the blacktop, that kind of thing. So this might be an insight that no one ever wanted, but I did a sensory deprivation activity where I was saran wrapped, blindfolded, and had earplugs in for, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something like that. And it was a really cool experience, but at the end of it, they cut the saran wrap off you, and it feels like shedding your skin. It's a really kind of cool feeling. So that's kind of what that made me think of. Tina then goes on to say how she always puts herself on the back burner and can never be free. But for this one night, she's going to be free. And then Ashley asks her, well, what's next after this, after you're being free? And she says, surgery. And in the confessional, she says her fears of the surgery are, number 1, dying on the table, and number 2, the complications. But she now feels that the benefits of the surgery outweigh the risks, and she feels she spent so much of her life held back by her weight, and that skinny people live in a completely different world, and she wants to see how the other half lives. I'm trying to think if I was ever treated differently when I was bigger than when I was smaller, because I've been bigger and I've been smaller. And other than comments about my body like, hey, look at your calves, or you look better now, I don't feel I was ever treated any different. But at my heaviest, I was 250 pounds. I was not no 300. So I decided that I would grill my husband to see if he noticed anything. And he said he couldn't think of any instances of anybody saying anything to him about me or my appearance or anything like that. But he said for him personally, that he feels he gets more respect now that he's bigger. And he used to be really, really skinny. He's about 6 foot, he's 5'11". And he was 112 pounds when I met him, and now he's like 180. So he says he gets more respect now that he's a little bigger and he lifts heavy batteries all day. So he's a little, stronger. Tina tells everyone they can either watch her or they can get in the pool. She was channeling her inner Vanessa.
Channeling my inner Vanessa.
Oh, bitch.
Oh.
Okay. Damn, Tina.
So they all strip down to at least their bra and panties, if not completely naked, jump at the pool. Vanessa shows them her floating skin. They finally convince Megan to get in, and she's all concerned about other guests seeing her. And they're like, look around, there's nobody around, everybody's asleep, or they're not here. And then out of nowhere, Ashley says, well, yeah, there's nobody around here, but there's probably one werewolf.
Oh,
There are no guests here.
What?
They're sleeping.
Look around, there's nobody. Nobody. It's me, you, Tina, and Ashley.
And one werewolf, I'm sure, somewhere.
And I was like, yay, the first werewolf comment of the whole show. They usually are talking about zombies. Megan strips and gets into the pool, and they have a big group hug, and the next morning they do a way out. Vanessa goes first. She was 280 and now she's 274, so that's a 6-pound loss. Tina was 300 and she's 295. That's a 5-pound loss. So Tina's reached Dr. Proctor's goal. Ashley was 359 and she is now 353. So that's a 6-pound loss. And Megan was 312 and now she's 307 and that's a 5-pound loss. So they all lost 5-6 pounds in 3 days. Cut to Tina and Megan going to taste wedding cake. And in the confessional, Megan says that she and John love fantasy and love role playing. And for a minute there, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? But I was getting a little weirded out, but she means like Lord of the Rings, Renaissance Festival, SCA, that kind of stuff. It sounds pretty cool. Maybe they should get into contact with their local SCA and see if they can help out with their wedding, or if they'd be interested in doing something. I mean, I'm sure TLC and the SCA, come on, it's a match made in heaven, right? And maybe Megan could find somebody who would make her a Renaissance-y style dress, maybe slightly more historically accurate than going to the mall. Megan tells the cake lady that her and John met online playing World of Warcraft. And now you are talking my language, yeah! Happy turns come from Ogamar. People are probably like, what the hell? Unless you're a nerd, you don't know. So Megan talks about a dragon cake or maybe a dragon wrapping around a cake, or maybe a dragon wrapping around a castle cake. And they were both kind of concerned about, Tina and Megan were both kind of concerned about the sugar and all that. And so they tell the cake lady that Megan's had bariatric surgery. So she's like, guess what? I've got keto and sugar-free cake. Tina says that this cake tasting couldn't have come at a worse time because she and Ashley have weigh-ins coming soon, but she wants to support Megan, so she's gonna eat the cake. So I kind of feel like this is a contrivance going on from TLC. Like, I would have told Megan she has to wait until after I have my weigh-in with Dr. Proctor. So it makes me kind of wonder if TLC, you know, didn't kind of force this whole wedding thing, just for some kind of subject matter for the show. I mean, I hope that Megan really actually wants to marry John and just isn't doing it for the show. Regardless, the keto and sugar-free cake shouldn't have a huge effect on their blood sugar, at least not like a full fat cake, so to speak, but it could be a dangerous trigger food for them. And, you know, they might want to, you know, go after tasting cake, they might want to go and get a bunch of cupcakes or something like that. In my very unprofessional fat chicken in a barn opinion, I would recommend what they do is some kind of activity immediately following the cake tasting and drink a bunch of water, just to try and, at least for me, having like an end point. Like, okay, I had this and now I'm gonna go for a walk. Like that fresh, clean break helps me. So, you know, rather than like sitting around with the cake sitting there or something like that, a clean break will help me, you know, stay on the straight and narrow, so to speak. The cake tasting goes well and sets Megan solidly on the path of knowing what she wants for her wedding. Cut to Vanessa and Ashley going to the bar to find a couple of fellas. Ashley says that this is still the only way to meet people. Are you back in the Stone Age? Are you? Bitch, please. You know how you meet people? You find a hobby, whatever your hobby is, underwater basket weaving or whatever, and you find other people who do the same thing and you go hang out with them. And then you meet somebody who likes the same stuff you do. Instead of building your relationship on alcohol or going to bars and stuff, at least that's in my humble opinion as a fat chick in a barn. So both Vanessa and Ashley look at margaritas, but they decide they're going to be good and stay on their diet and decide to go with Jack and Diet Coke, which I think is a good choice, but not drinking would be the best choice if you're on a calorie budget. But if you're going to drink and you're not going to drink Jack and Coke, clear alcohols are better. So tequila, vodka, all have less calories. Definitely stay away from beer, and light beer is not beer, so get out of here with that. We don't even go there. We don't even talk about that. Vanessa and Ashley go over to where there are some guys playing pool and chat them up. And then in the confessional, Ashley says she finds it hard to meet men because she doesn't know if they are into plus-size women. Now, again, another fat chick in a barnism here. I'll let you in on a little secret. Men aren't that particular. They really aren't. All they need is somebody who's interested and doesn't play games with them. So Vanessa and Ashley leave, and Vanessa tells Ashley that she can't wait for a guy to come up and talk to her, that she's got to make the first move and go find a guy and talk to them. Now, in this bar, in this establishment, there is a mechanical bull. And Vanessa goes to ask the guys if she can ride the bull. And while she's doing that, Ashley was going to the bar to get another drink, and she finds a drag queen confidence seminar flyer at the bar. So Vanessa gets on the bull and everyone's cheering and she's doing her Vanessa jokes, you know, like, this is the most action I've had in a long time. And she's just kind of looking around and everybody's cheering for her and nobody's making fun of her. And I think that's awesome. And she really enjoyed the experience and felt like a normal person because nobody was kind of like, look at the fat chick.
Can I ride your bull?
Right here. Well, you got that thing on now. Get on now. There you go, Vanessa.
And another, you know, aside that nobody ever wanted or cared about. Yes, I've ridden a mechanical bull many, many, many years ago. Now we cut to them going to the drag queen confidence workshop. Megan says she had a dream once, now we cut to them going to the drag queen confidence workshop, and they're all having to go up these stairs, and stairs are kind of Megan's nemesis. Mine are lunges, personally, but hers are stairs. And she says she had a dream once that the steps killed her. And I think my obituary will read either that I died of doing too many lunges or I fell off the step stool while trying to wash the hearse. One of those two things. So the drag queen comes in all her glory, and her name is Santana Manhattan. And she's looking fabulous, and she sits down with the besties and asks them why they're here, and then lays out her 5-step plan to build confidence. Number 1, stop caring what other people think about you. It's none of your business. Oh, wait, that's my advice.
The 5 pillars of confidence are finding your persona, walk it, bend and pose, it, and putting it all together. Every queen needs an arsenal of tools in their back pocket to make sure they can keep their crown on. I'm the perfect person to teach this class because, well, look at the material. It's given. Always.
So the besties, as the first step, the finding your persona, write down a name that makes them feel powerful, maybe a little bit sexy. Number 2, then the besties do it like a little runway walk, and they seem to figure out pretty quick that they need to take my advice and just stop caring what other people think. Then Santana teaches them to pose, and then fuck it is basically wrapping up all of your problems and tossing them aside and saying fuck it. And number 5, putting it all together as they grab some props and strut their stuff down the catwalk to kind of bring home all of the things that they've learned. And then we cut to Dr. Proctor and Ashley and Tina. So he asks them about what they're doing, and they both say walking. And Dr. Proctor invites them to do a 5K in the next week. And Tina is super, super excited about this, whereas Ashley's a little more hesitant, but she agrees to do the walk if Tina does the walk with her. Now, I've done a 5K before, and that's a little over 3 miles. And at that time, I wasn't in the greatest shape. And my back hurt through the walk because and I walked. I didn't run because I am no runner. And I finished it. It wasn't terrible, but I predict that these besties are going to have a rough time, especially since they found it hard to walk a mile at the Fit Farm. And maybe they've been walking since then, but if not, it's really going to be rough on the besties. So we'll see. We'll see how it pans out next week. So they're going to go do the weigh-in. They go into the next room, and Tina says she's got to take her shoes off. So Dr. Proctor's like, what are your shoes weigh 10 pounds? And mine do, bitch. So Tina takes her shoes off. She gets on the scale, and she's 289, which is 6 pounds lost from before, and Ashley was 347, which was a 6-pound loss from before. And they both made their weight goal. Ashley is approved, but Tina isn't. Cliffhanger for next time. So we'll see what happens. And while I don't generally try and look at what is going to be happening in the next episode, it definitely looks like my prophecy of them having a rough time is going to come true with the 5K. I do a 5K almost every day now, but that back in the day, it was rough for me to do the 5K too. And that's walking. I don't run. I don't run unless there's zombie chasing me. So, and at that point, I'm going to push the person to my left behind me, you know, because I don't have to run faster than the zombies. I just got to run faster than you. And with that, everyone, air hugs, and I am out.